What if I told you that you could get a 4% interest rate on your mortgage when everyone else is paying 7%? And what if the seller pays for it? Today, I'm revealing the temporary buy-down strategy that my top realtor partners are using to win bidding wars and save buyers thousands. In this video, I'll cover what temporary buy-downs are and why sellers are willing to pay for them, the three main types of buy-downs, and which one I recommend most, and how top realtors negotiate buy-downs and the exact scripts they use, making the numbers work, and specific rules. I'm Matt Jolivet, a licensed mortgage broker and owner of Associated Mortgage Brokers, and with over 25 years of doing mortgages in Oregon, Washington, and Idaho, I've probably done hundreds of these temporary buy-downs. So let me show you exactly how this works. Section 1, what are temporary buy-downs? All right, so what the heck is a temporary buy-down anyway? Okay, imagine this. You're buying a house and the seller basically says, hey, I'll give you a credit at closing to cover part of your mortgage payments for the first couple of years. That's essentially what is happening here. The seller gives you a credit, which is enough to cover the temporary buy down from their closing proceeds to lower your monthly payment for 1 to 3 years. Then your rate goes back to normal. It's like having someone cover part of your rent, except they pay for it all up front at the closing table. Let me show you how this works. Say you're buying a house and you get a loan at 7%. Your normal monthly payment includes principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and mortgage insurance if you put less than 20% down. But with a 2-1 buy down, here's what happens. Year 1, you pay like it's 5%, much lower monthly payments. Year 2, you pay like it's 6%, still lower than your actual rate. Year 3 and beyond, back to the full 7%. Here's how it works behind the scenes. The seller gives you a credit from their closing proceeds that covers the difference in interest between what you're paying and what you actually owe. The lender holds that money and supplements your payment each month, drawing down the amount until it's gone. Pretty cool, right? You're probably thinking, why would a seller do this? Well, here's the thing. When their house is just sitting there, they're losing money every day. Interest, property taxes, insurance, utilities, it all adds up. So they'd rather give you a credit from their closing proceeds to sell it fast than drop their price by $20,000 and still wait months to sell. Plus, this attracts way more buyers who can actually afford the payments. It comes right out of what they're already getting at closing. No extra cash is needed. Section 2, the three main types of buy downs. So there are three main ways to do this, and honestly, one of them is way better than the others. The 1-0 buy down. This is the most basic one. Your rate drops 1% for just the first year. So if you've got a 7% loan, it becomes 6% for year 1, then back to 7% that second year. The seller pays about $3,000 to $5,000 depending on your loan size. It's not bad, but you only get 1 year of relief. I usually recommend this if you're expecting rates to drop within the next year. The 2-1 buy down, the most popular. This is my favorite, and here's why. Your rate drops 2% the first year, 1% the second year, so that 7% loan becomes 5% on year 1, 6% year 2, and then back to 7%. Now let's examine using a $550,000 purchase price with 5% down. The payments below are estimated PITI with estimated property taxes, estimated insurance, and estimated mortgage insurance. The seller pays $12,180, but you get 2 full years of lower payments. That gives you time to see if rates drop so you can refinance later. Most of my clients go with this one. Now let me give you the exact numbers on that $550,000 house with a 5% down payment. So with that 2-1 buy down, the seller gives you a $12,180 credit from their closing proceeds. You save $673 every month for the first year at a rate of 5%. That's $8,076 total for the first year. You save $344 every month the second year at a rate of 6%. That's $4,128 total for the year. So you save $12,180 in 2 years. The seller gives up $12,180 from their closing proceeds to save paying interest. Everyone wins. The 3-2-1 buy down. I view this as the premium version. Your rate drops 3% the first year, 2% the second year, 1% on the third year. So 7% becomes 4% on year one, 5% year two, 6% year three, then back to 7%. Using that same $550,000 house with 5% down example, with estimated PITI payments, year one, you save $928 every month for the first year at a rate of 4%. That's $11,136 for the first year. Year two, you save $671 every month for the first year at a rate of 5%. That's $8,052 for the year. In year three, you save $344 every month for the first year at a rate of 6%. That's $4,128 for the last year. So in total, you save $23,316 in 3 years. And the seller pays $23,316 from their closing proceeds. But you save over $23,000 during the 3 years. Now, this really only works on expensive homes where the seller has tons of equity. It's nice if you can get it, but honestly, the 2-1 is usually the sweet spot. Section 3, how top realtors negotiate buydowns. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Let me tell you exactly what my best realtor partners say to make this happen. The key is not to ask for a favor. You're offering a marketing solution. I tell realtors to say stuff like, this helps your home stand out and sell faster. Buyers can afford more house with lower payments. And honestly, it's usually cheaper than dropping your price by $20,000. Here are the exact words that work. For starters, Mr. Seller, instead of reducing your price, what if we help the buyer with a temporary rate reduction? A 2-1 buydown costs around $8,000 to $13,000 depending on the loan amount, but attracts buyers who can pay your full asking price. Now, when they're hesitant, look, this strategy helps buyers afford your home who can already qualify but are concerned about the monthly payments. We're seeing homes with buydowns sell 30% faster than those without. And then when there's competition, look, your competition is offering incentives. A buydown makes your home the smart choice for buyers. Use this when the home's been sitting for 30 plus days. You've already cut the price once or twice. Buyers are saying it's too expensive, or you're competing against new construction that's offering incentives as well. Instead of just saying house for sale, you're saying this home comes with reduced payments for 2 years, or seller paid interest rate reduction included, or move-in ready with payment assistance. See the difference? You're not just selling a house, you're selling a solution. Section 4, making the numbers work. All right, so let's talk about how to actually structure these deals. Here's something super important. You still have to qualify at the full 7% rate. The buydown helps with your monthly payments, but the bank still needs to know you can handle the full payment when it kicks in. You still need the same down payment and a standard qualifying credit score. This isn't a magic trick to get around qualifying requirements. Now, what happens if you sell or refinance early? Here's a bonus most people don't know about. Let's say you do a 2-1 buydown, but decide to refinance or sell after just 1 year. What happens to the leftover money in the escrow account? It just doesn't disappear. When you get your final payoff for the refinance or sale, any remaining buydown funds gets applied as a principal reduction on your loan. So you actually get to use all that money, either as lower payments or as equity when you move or refinance. Now let me show you with our $550,000 example. After 1 year, you'd have about $4,124 remaining in your buydown escrow account. Your loan balance would be around $517,192. But instead of paying off the full $517,192 that is remaining, $4,124 gets applied as a principal reduction. So your actual payoff would be $513,068 instead of the $517,192. You just saved an extra $4,124 in principal, money that goes right into your pocket as equity when you sell or refinance. It's a win no matter what. Now, there's some important rules about the buyer versus the seller funds. Here's something critical. Not 1 penny of the buydown can come from you as the buyer. It must come directly from the seller's proceeds. This is a lender requirement. Now, here's a pro tip. Let's say the 2-1 buydown costs exactly $12,180, but you negotiate a $15,000 credit from the seller. That extra $2,820 can go toward your standard closing costs. Since rates change daily, it's actually smart to ask for slightly more than the expected buydown costs just to make sure you're covered. Trying to nail it down to the exact penny can be tricky. Now, this works really well around here because our home prices are high, so the savings are bigger. Plus, a lot of our buyers work in tech and expect their incomes to go up. And let's be honest, our market can be seasonal, so anything that helps sell faster is good. Here's how I would approach it. Start with an asking price, but offer the buy down. Then compare what they'd lose with a price reduction versus what they'd pay for the buy down. Show them how much faster it'll sell. Run the numbers on their actual net proceeds. This works really well when rates are above 6%. Homes are priced above $500,000 and you've got motivated sellers with equity and there's a lot of inventory sitting around. Let's compare options for that $550,000 home. Drop the price to $530,000, the seller loses $20,000 from their closing proceeds and it still might not sell quickly. Keep it at $550,000 but give a $12,180 credit for the buy down, the seller only loses $12,180 from their closing proceeds. Attracts more buyers and sells faster. The math is pretty clear, right? Key takeaways. Here's what you'll need to remember. Buy downs reduce your payments, not your qualifying requirements. The 2-1 buy down is usually your best bet due to costs. Sellers often prefer this to dropping their price. It works great in our competitive Pacific Northwest market. You still gotta qualify at the full rate, but you get reduced payments. So have you seen temporary buy downs in your market? Are you a buyer who could benefit from this? Drop a comment and let me know what questions you have. If you're ready to explore temporary buy downs for your Pacific Northwest home purchase, I do free consultations to structure the perfect deal. Click the link in my bio for a strategy session via Zoom or phone. And hey, if this helped you understand buy downs, hit that like button and subscribe for more mortgage strategies that actually work. I'll see you on the next video.